Yo, 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 what up? Yo, yo. We're chilling. Sup? Hi, I'm first one. Second, but close enough. Close enough. How are you guys doing? Oh, wow. What up, fam? Let's get that Wi-Fi bread. I like that. Welcome in, guys. Say what's up in the chat. Say hi. I just dropped a new video. A blueprint to 10K a month online as a beginner. It's a really good one. Check it out. Leave a like, leave a comment, all that. Let me log into this because I actually have a Crunchbase account. I'm a full member, so I can get the valuations and funding amounts. What is today's topic? Today's topic is watching some videos. I want to watch this video of this guy that went from teenage blogger to $250 million. And then I also want to watch this other high school dropout that built a $1 billion startup. Hopefully you guys will enjoy those two videos. I can only stream for an hour today. I have some commitments, but I want to get the streaming vibes going, the streaming momentum going. I made a little bit of a goal for the end of the year. I'd love to get 300 recurring viewers on streams, but in order to do that, I need to stream more, obviously. So, I never stream as much anymore, and I used to, so I need to get on it. I need to start streaming more, and the only way to stream more is just to stream. So here we are. Hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Welcome. I'm gonna keep adding new videos to this watch later list. There's only 14 videos, but this is kind of like how I will approach watching videos with you guys. There's so much incredible content on YouTube, so I feel like it's a really great idea to just watch some of it together. Give you guys some of my input on things. I love watching your videos. Thanks, Elena. I appreciate that. I love making those videos, so I'm glad you like watching them. I'm just looking at random businesses here too on Crunchbase. I don't do this too much these days, but I used to do it more, so I'm going to use this stream as an excuse to do it more because I have an account. I pay like $500 a year for this. Honestly, we should start providing some of this data in the Akemi Lab as well, Tariq. I know Tariq is watching. He's one of the Akemi Lab research members. He's a beast. And yeah, some of this data is actually really interesting. So let's see. A lot of ChatGPT news. So much stuff is happening with AI. It's actually insane. What about a review of my site? I have a good sales in the Middle East. Lots of opportunity here. That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely, link it in the chat. I'll gladly review it. I would say that's definitely a smart thing to do is focus on other markets. I think people neglect that for some reason. They just get, hung up on the US because the US is the best market, sure, but it's also the most competitive market. And I think an easy way to make money is probably to just take whatever works in the US, take it to whichever market you live in. Why are all of my news ChatGPT related? Is this some sort of from my first, okay, that makes sense. This is a brand that I'm still keeping a watchful eye over because, they have a crazy amount of employees, but they own some of the craziest e-commerce businesses out there, such as Fabletics. It's funny because this is an Unsplash picture. I remember using this picture for a different project that I had. So, even billion-dollar companies use Unsplash. If you don't know what Unsplash is, I'll show you. It's basically where you can source stock footage for free. It's honestly amazing. You can use this for your websites. Best market for beginners. That's a good question. I mean, I would say whichever market, let's say if you speak Dutch, right? If you speak Dutch, that's a huge competitive advantage. You should definitely dive into like German markets. The German market is amazing, and it seems like there's not a lot of competition there, or at least what happens in Germany. It seems like, I'm not from Germany, I've never been, so I don't really know for sure, but this is from some of the data that I've looked at. Is it looks like a lot of trends from the US go to Germany. So Germans love to ride the trends that happen in the US, and it's probably the same with a lot of the rest of the world. So whatever market you're in, really, taking whatever works in the US and applying it to your market is a great idea. Yeah, I was just looking at the Textile Fashion Group here. They are a global membership fashion e-commerce company focused on reimagining the global fashion business. They've raised $336 million. It's a lot of doubloons. And they're estimated to be doing 500 million to $1 billion in revenue. Some of their brands are Fabletics, Fenty, Savage Fenty, Just Fab, Shoe Dazzle, Fab Kids, Textile. These are the founders. And yeah, they just have some of the biggest brands. It's pretty crazy. Fabletics is one of those brands. Let me look at their philosophy here. I'm curious. Digitally native, vertically integrated, membership-centered. Textile Fashion Group is the pioneer online global fashion incubator. We partner with artists and style leaders to create the world's most innovative and influential global brands and disrupt the fashion industry. Wow. Membership-centered brands. That's kind of interesting. I know that these guys have a really interesting membership that I want to look into. How flexible VIP membership works. As a part of the paid flexible VIP membership program, you will always save up to 20 to 50% on full price styles and get access to members only exclusives. You'll be billed monthly for your membership benefits. $60 a month. Wow. That's insane. That's actually crazy. I've never heard of something like that. Okay, so let's see. Competition in Germany is really more of like dropshipping. Trendy products already been taken from the US. If you can build a real brand, or at least dropshipping brand with an evergreen product, it'll blow up for sure. I know Arabic language, for example, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, e-commerce is new in this region. I use your knowledge in the new market and guarantee huge profits. Nice. Good stuff. Okay. I'm going to begin moving on some of these videos because, like I said, I don't have a ton of time today, but I'm glad that we're seeing some people in the stream. I'm not really too concerned about how many people join right now, just because at this point, I just need to build the momentum. So let me see. This one is the oldest one, so we'll start with this one. A high school dropout built $1 billion startup at 23. Let me make sure my audio is working properly. It is not working properly. So what is going on? Oh, still not working. What? Okay, something's happening with this. Bruh, why isn't this working? Uh, yeah, let me see. Well, at least my camera works. That's all that matters. Yeah, so this is why I need to stream more so that I can just, be more used to this stuff. Right now it's like, okay, there we go. I think that did it. Headphones, yes. Okay, and this should also be paired to my headphones. Let's see.
Tenderloin. But like I didn't really get.
Ooh, there it is. Nothing. There's nothing wrong, guys. I'm just trying to fix the audio. I'm trying to make sure that I can hear myself, or rather that I can hear the audio and that you guys can also hear the same audio and that it's also being recorded properly, because sometimes it all gets messed up when you stream. Which platforms are best to source products? Well, I'm biased, but I think the best platform is Akemi Lab, and I'll share with you why I think that. Let me show you 1 second. So in here we have, oh, this is actually not what I'm looking for here. In the Akemi Lab, we have a sourcing and shipping tab with my friend Alan, who is directly in China. He runs this company. He has 9 years of supply chain experience. He used to work with other really big sourcing companies out there, and he found that they were, kind of not scamming customers, but overcharging them for sure. So, he's just like a really stand-up guy and has so much relevant experience. In my opinion, he's like probably one of the best people to talk to in the supply chain world if you're looking to source things from China. So he's in the community and you can message him. Otherwise, honestly, I don't think it's a terrible idea to just find products on AliExpress and test them that way. And, I generally don't think it's a good idea to scale AliExpress products anyways. And honestly, same thing goes with other fulfillment platforms. I think Zendrop is pretty good, CJ's pretty good, but the best thing you could do is just own your supply chain and work with, a supply chain company as opposed to like a service that's massive, because you're just not going to get the best prices, right? I think all those, AliExpress, Zendrop, CJ Dropshipping, they're great places to start, but they're not great places to scale necessarily because, like I just said, you're not going to get the best prices. So your margins will probably be depleted. Okay, but now that the sound works, let's get this moving. A high school dropout built $1 billion startup at 23. Let's watch this.
Give my parents a choice. My decision was, this is my passion, this is the thing that drives me. It was actually more than a passion, it was like a calling. I used to believe the smartest people, they went to the best universities. They went to Harvard, they went to Yale, they went to Stanford. That's actually not true. And oftentimes when we've hired those people, we've actually been disappointed and we've been wrong.
Wow.
The right people that are thinking about solving the right customer problems, operating at the right speed, is what makes companies grow and scale faster. My name is Samir Vasavada. I'm co-founder and CEO of Vise. So Vise does three things. We help advisors build personalized portfolios.
Have you guys heard of this company?
Manage those
I've never seen this company before. It seems like apparently it's a fintech product. So they help people manage portfolios. I mean, this will be pretty interesting. This will be a really good video. Let me know in the chat if you guys have heard of this company before. I've never heard of it.
Portfolios, and then we help explain the portfolio, where technology enables investment management at scale.
I actually like that. That sounds really easily integrated with AI these days. That's pretty cool.
So it's funny because I've looked back to like a very young age. My like the drivers, like the things that brought me fulfillment in life was always like building something. Like I love to build.
I can relate.
And then, the iPhone had come out. I had seen Steve Jobs and I'd read his book by Walter Isaacson. And I'd just been inspired by tech. And it's funny because I come from...
Yeah, I also read that book. I have it back there. I don't know if you can see, like right here. It's really good. I actually bought all of Walter Isaacson's books. I love his writing. They're thick books, but they're so well done. All the biographies that he writes are just so fascinating. I recently finished that Albert Einstein one, and it was also super good.
From a very traditional family. My parents were Indian immigrants. We grew up in a relatively small town. The concept of being a builder, of running a tech company, was kind of a foreign concept. And the way I actually started with this was pretty interesting, pretty random. I had met my co-founder at a summer program in 8th grade. Our parents had sent us to a summer program at
in 8th grade, bro. That's crazy. That's so crazy. How young people are starting companies. It's just insane. I remember being in 8th grade and like just playing video games and wanting to hang out with my friends. I mean, I did like learning a lot of different things, but for some reason I was never drawn to business at the beginning. It's really cool how the internet is enabling people of all ages to build businesses.
Northwestern, and we had met because our dorm rooms were across the hall from each other. And when we finished the program, we wondered to ourselves, we have all this time on our hands, school's not too difficult, let's make money. And apps at the time were really, really hot. Every small business wanted an app, and we thought we could build those apps. So we learned how to program, we built our first couple of apps, and then my co-founder got a research opportunity at a notable university in artificial intelligence research, and we decided, what if we use AI to automate those apps? What if you could type in your app idea into a platform and we could build you an iPhone app in 30 seconds. And that was our first startup. It turned out to be too much of a technical challenge at the time, suited for 2 13, 14-year-olds. But one of the guys who was mentoring us was a former investment banker. And he had said, you guys know so much about AI and machine learning now that you should consult with large investment banks, because large investment banks want to learn about AI and machine learning for investment decisions and efficiency decisions within their firms. So we started consulting with a lot of the largest investment banks in the country. And we were charging a lot of money, $500 to $1,000 an hour, which was a great side income for that age. And as we were consulting with a lot of these...
Wow, that's funny. Knowledge is so valuable. I mean, just knowing more than the average person about machine learning and AI at the beginning of the machine learning and AI revolution allowed like 16-year-olds to charge $1,000 an hour to companies just to consult with them. That's amazing. That's crazy. I actually see a similar opportunity because he mentioned how building apps at the time was super hot and every business wanted to build an app. I think right now it's content. Every business wants content creators. So if you can be a content creator for a business, you can make a lot of money in a very simple way. You don't even really need any challenging skills. Though I will say making content is a skill. Even people who seemingly don't have any skills, people who are huge influencers and people think they're like brain dead and they don't really provide any sort of value, they have skills. Otherwise, they wouldn't be where they are. And content is a great skill to have right now. Every business needs more content.
We had realized that the wealth and asset management space is a really big part of revenues for a lot of these institutions. It was 50% of revenues for Morgan Stanley. But financial advisors at these institutions, we had believed, were money management gurus. They were investment management experts. And they didn't necessarily have the tools or technology to be successful with investment management. So we saw an opportunity. What if we build technology to help automate the investment workflows for these large investment institutions? We built our first prototype at 15. And the goal was to sell it to big financial institutions. Now, we didn't know how hard that would be at the time. And Jamie Dimon was speaking at a Detroit Startup Week.
Jamie Dimon, the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan. This guy's been pretty famous lately, just talking shit about Bitcoin. He has been comparing it to a pet rock, I believe. It's pretty funny, I guess. He's old, but nevertheless, I'm sure he does know a lot of things that we don't know.
and there was a local school field trip, and Runic had gone down to go see Jamie Dimon speak. And Jamie got off stage, and we rushed him on stage, and we asked Jamie, would JP Morgan be interested in leveraging artificial intelligence to automate their investment workloads for their financial advisors? And he basically said to us, no, JP Morgan has lots of technology, lots of investment workflows, but you should look at independent financial advisors, because what's happening is a lot of advisors are leaving big institutions and they're going independent, and you guys could provide the tech, the software to power them. So we discovered this massive market of independent financial advisors, and Vise could be the first company to really deliver this.
That's very interesting. So that's good advice. Instead of going directly to the big brands that already have systems, go to the independent financial advisors. This could apply to so many different markets, by the way, because they don't have those systems. Very interesting.
So I actually dropped out of high school, but I basically left high school after partially through 11th grade, and I moved to the Bay Area, and I lived in this place called the Tenderloin. But I didn't really give my parents a choice. My decision was, this is my passion, this is the thing that drives me. It was actually more than a passion, it was like a calling. Oftentimes when people say that you're taking on risk to follow your passion, the actual risk you're taking is not doing that, right? Because you're taking the risk of, am I gonna be miserable?
This is one of my favorite quotes that I've actually tweeted so many times, and every time I tweet it, it does really well because I think a lot of people resonate with it, and it's basically what he's saying. The quote is, not taking a risk is a risk, or rather, taking no risks is a risk. It's so true. Is software engineering a good career or to do e-commerce dropshipping? It is a great career. I wouldn't say e-commerce dropshipping is a career. I would say e-commerce is a career and dropshipping is a way to fulfill products. And really e-commerce entrepreneurship is the career if you're going to build an e-commerce business or an e-commerce dropshipping business. But yeah, being a good software engineer will definitely help that as well. The more skills that you can stack, the better, because you can apply those skills to any business you build. E-commerce dropshipping, maybe you build an app, maybe you build an e-commerce app. Who knows? There's a lot of ways to make money.
In life, if I don't actually follow my passion. I think it gets really challenging to take risk when you have a family and you have kids and you have obligations and responsibilities. And that's when most people really regret not having taken risk earlier on in their lives. And when you're doing it at a young age, it's actually even more important because you have the time and ability to take risk. I'm 16,
True.
17, 18 years old. Now is the time in my life where I should take the most risk because I have a safety net to fall back on. So the question is, do I listen to my parents or do I not? And oftentimes you should kind of listen to your gut.
Yeah, there's a difference between respecting your parents and just blindly listening to your parents. I think at a certain age, especially if you're young, and especially if you have some sort of passion or calling like he's saying, it's really important to respect your parents, but not necessarily listen to them and follow your gut, especially if you're not trying to do something bad, right? If it's something good for the world, then you should totally follow that. Taking no risks is a risk. Exactly. Learning from failures.
There are over 400,000 investment advisors in the United States.
Crazy.
Clients expect personalized portfolios tailored to their needs, but instead are getting dumped into generic buckets of mutual funds and ETFs. Vise AI is an artificial intelligence platform tailored to investment advisors so they can automate portfolio construction and management.
When we started, it was incredibly difficult. I had cold called, cold emailed hundreds of investors between the ages of 16 and 19, and no one would give us money. While I was living in the Bay Area, sleeping on floors, my co-founder had actually decided to go to UPenn and do a year at college, which could have destroyed our business. But I had actually moved onto Runic's dorm room floor, and I said, I'm not leaving until you drop out. And it's okay, to drop out, we need to raise $1 million. His parents said, if you want to drop out or take a leave of absence, you need to raise $1 million. So we decided we're going to go out and raise $1 million. We don't know who's going to give us $1 million, but we set out to do it. And it's funny because we'd cold called so many people. One of the people we'd cold called was Jim Getz, a very famous partner at Sequoia. And I found his number online somehow. And I'd called him.
Somehow. You can find anyone's numbers online these days, especially with AI. That's super funny though. It's crazy too how you can just raise money. If you have a good idea, you can just use other people's money to build it. It's pretty awesome.
I said, Jim, this is the business we're working on, but like I was so nervous the first time I hung up, and then I called him back and he chewed me out on the phone for like 10 minutes and said, Sequoia is never gonna fund you. And ironically, a couple of years later, they funded us 3 times over. But when we were in this process, we kept coming against all these road bumps, and like people just kept rejecting us. What are you kids gonna be able to do in the wealth management space? Go find a real job and come back to this. And we ended up meeting these 2 guys, Nat Turner and Zach Weinberg, who started a company called Flatiron Health. And they said, okay, we'll be your first investors. Even if the thing goes to 0, it's okay. We think you'll be successful. And they gave us our first 100K. And 1, we could afford to feed our employees because everyone was working on equity at that point in time. And 2, it was enough momentum for us to kind of get excited and keep going. And then we ended up meeting Founders Fund, and Founders Fund co-led a seed round, and we raised $2 million, which was pretty exciting at the time. And Runic had dropped out, moved to the Bay Area, and we had started the company officially. The way I think about it is you have individual successes and you have individual failures. And we've had lots and lots of failures, but you never learn from your successes, you always learn from your failures. So our goal is to have as many failures as fast as possible. So before we had a launch-ready product for Vise, we had rebuilt the platform something like 5 to 7 times. So we'd gone from a full platform build to like scratching it all and restarting. And I think my one big lesson in this whole thing, there's a Reid Hoffman quote, you should be embarrassed about your first product. We were always embarrassed about our product, but we never actually launched it. We just kept scrubbing it and restarting. If I had to redo it all over again, I would have given it to users, even though I was so desperately embarrassed about the product, because you're gonna learn, right? And even if something isn't perfect, a little bit more feedback will continue your iteration cycle to keep learning.
I love that. That's a big philosophy of mine too. I don't like for things to be perfect in order to launch. I would rather just launch something that's ugly and get some feedback, gather some data, and then make adjustments. It's a way better idea. And I think he just said it too. So that's awesome. This is a very inspiring story. It's really cool how you can I'm still kind of stuck on this point of, if you have a good idea, you can literally just go out and raise money. People will pay for you to build that idea. I think that's really cool.
Learning, keep getting better. So a lot of my early days, every day after school, I would sit in financial advisors' offices and I would just watch them use our product or watch them use other product. And then it builds a really strong mental model and understanding of how do they think, how do they make decisions, why do they make decisions. So a lot of my learnings came from just simply watching them do the work or doing the work with them. And that best way to learn is just to do. So YC has this quote, always be talking to your customers, and it couldn't be more true.
YC is Y Combinator, by the way. It's a big Bay Area, San Francisco, I don't know, it's ingrained in the culture. It's basically where a lot of the big startups come out of. And fun fact, it is what inspires Akemi Lab Discord, as like silly as that sounds, but that's kind of my goal with the Akemi Lab Discord, is just to incubate businesses and help people build the businesses of the future, even if it's just e-commerce businesses. I mean, gotta start somewhere,
True. As you grow, the hard thing is as you grow and you become larger and larger, you have salespeople, you have product managers, you have people that will talk to the customer on your behalf. And that's actually the wrong thing to do as a CEO, as a founder. You want to always be talking to your customers, whether you're a multi-billion-dollar company or you're a 5-person company. Because the more time you spend with your customers, the better your product gets, the better your story gets, the better you get at sales. There is nothing more important than talking to customers. I actually make it a key part of my week. How much time did I spend talking to prospective customers?
Interesting. That's a good metric to aim to optimize, is how much time are you spending talking to your customers? Honestly, I'm sure you guys could also do better at that. Like building a dropshipping store, let's say, you probably never talk to your customers, let's be honest. But it's probably a good idea to do so, as he's saying. It's like something you kind of want to avoid because you want to outsource as much as possible, but you're going to learn so much from talking to your customers. I actually do talk to my customers a lot when it comes to my agency. I mean, obviously I'm a key communication point in the business, and then also in Akemi Lab, I'm the most active person in the whole server. So nice. That's a good check mark for me.
For existing customers, because the amount of learnings you get improve your business tenfold.
Right people make better results.
There is a belief in Silicon Valley that more people and more capital builds businesses faster. And that's actually a fallacy. That's not true. The right people that are thinking about solving the right customer problems, operating at the right speed, is what makes companies grow and scale faster.
Yeah, I would say like probably the bigger a company gets, actually not necessarily the faster it moves. If anything, it could slow down how fast you move, because now you have so many layers of bureaucracy that you have to go through in order to make a decision. I totally agree. I mean, my business is not anywhere near, some of these startup unicorns out there, but with a very lean team, we're able to do a lot. And it's because we have the right people. We don't have like a team of 100 people. It's like a small team of the right people.
And the problem when you have a lot of employees, less work actually gets done because you have more people that you're managing, more problems that you're managing with more people. So we actually realized having less people and the top performers would actually lead to better results. Because what you realize as a company is that the top 20% of performers drive the top 80% of results. So why do you want the other 80%? You want only the top performers at the company, and you want to make sure those top performers are properly incentivized, structured properly, and they have the resources they need to be successful. I used to believe the smartest people, they went to the best universities. They went to Harvard, they went to Yale, they went to Stanford. That's actually not true. And oftentimes when we've hired those people, we've actually been disappointed and we've been wrong. We wanted everyone to think about being kind of the day zero, day one employees that were building, that were solving problems. And what happened was Vise had gone from a seed stage company to a $1 billion company in 18 months. It was record fast timing. I was the youngest person in history to have a $1 billion company. And what happened was we started to recruit a lot of the wrong people. We recruited people that were here to kind of get rich. They were mercenaries. They wanted to join Vise and expected it to be a rocket ship and expected them not to have to solve problems. When in reality, we were still an early stage startup and we needed to do a major shift. We had built the wrong culture, we had hired the wrong people, and we had to make hard decisions to let a lot of those people go and to change the mental model internally to, we're not a big company that's made it. We're a company that is figuring it out, that's gonna win because we are all problem solvers, we're all thinkers, and we're all hustling to make it happen just like we did in the early days of the company. The way to actually think about talent and hiring the best talent is to think about like a framework.
By the way, while we watch these videos, if you're not thinking of how to apply this stuff to wherever you are in your journey, like even if you're just having a dropshipping business, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. And it's super funny. It's funny to me, at least, to hear people say, like him, that's, built a $1 billion company at 23, that one of the most important things are literally the mental models that you apply at the company level. I think that's really interesting.
Called SKQs, skills, knowledge, and qualities. Really focusing on qualities. Is this person willing to work super duper hard? Are they someone who can learn? Are they flexible? Are they open to taking feedback? Are they driven? Are they motivated? At Vise, we have 3 core values: burn the boats, customer obsession, and 1% better every day. Number 1, we want people that are committed, they're all in on the mission, they're willing to go through any walls, run through any walls, go through any challenges to be successful in the business. They're truly they have this burn the boats mentality. 2, 1% better every day. You're 1% better every day, you're far, far better at the end of the year. And it's those little changes you make every single day to constantly evolve. It's not about the big changes, it's about the little changes. And those learnings compound, and your organization compounds as a result of those learnings. And the last, and probably one of the most important values, is customer obsession. Making the customer truly embedded as part of our entire organization. Everyone in every decision is thinking about, how is the customer impacted? How are we going to drive more value to the customer? Putting the customer ahead of everyone, even if it comes out at a personal cost to our company.
Do what you're passionate about. Ooh.
I don't recommend starting a company at a young age unless it is your true driving passion. I think a lot of people think, wow, it's really cool to start a company and like it's the hot thing to be doing. And oftentimes you shouldn't do the hot thing. You should do the thing that you're passionate about, that you're excited about. I think I've had times where we were at the top of the world and I was feeling kind of lonely and misunderstood and just miserable. And I was like feeding for scraps basically. Like I would like go to the Whole Foods and like steal from the buffet because like I had no money and I needed food. And I think that was like some of the hardest moments of my life, but it was also really important because 1, it built grit, and 2, it built this kind of sense of drive and purpose that like if I didn't figure it out, I was kind of screwed and I had to figure it out. It was like a burn the boats like mentality, but if you truly love it and it's truly the thing that makes you happy, I would say it's a no-brainer opportunity to be a founder. It's a no-brainer opportunity to start a company, and you'll learn so much more in the process about yourself, about the world. And it's important to know that you're not alone, and that's just kind of what entrepreneurial journey is like. And it's important to just constantly realize that the next day is going to get better, and your job is just to move to the next day and just get a little better. And as long as you don't quit, as long as you don't give up, you will get there. I think my vision is to build the world's largest asset manager entirely powered by technology. How do we transform this legacy, archaic, age-old industry into the modern era? And I think that we have a very great shot at doing that. And I think it's going to take a while, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. As long as you keep going, we'll eventually get there, right? So in many ways, that is my vision.
Gas. That was a great video. It's so amazing what you can find on the internet these days. I mean, wow. We just got a 13-minute mentorship from a young billionaire. That's pretty awesome. And he's totally right. I mean, as long as you have a big vision and you just don't give up, you're gonna make it. My favorite ecom YouTuber, for real. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Yeah, wow. So that was really good. Glad we got through that. That was really valuable. I learned a lot. It's super inspiring to me just hearing these founders talk about their businesses. I'm a big fan of stories of people just kind of grinding it out and making their visions a reality. I think it's really funny, though, how for a lot of people, their advice on how to get to where they are is often different than what actually got them there. He's a perfect example of that. He's like, I don't think young people should start a company unless it's passion driven, even though his first company was, he started it at 14 and it was making apps because it was a hot thing, even though he doesn't recommend people to do that. But had he not done that, he probably wouldn't have made it to where he is now. That part of his journey was instrumental to getting him there. And this is always why you got to take every piece of advice with a grain of salt. You got to walk your own journey, man. But yeah, how did you guys like that video? I thought it was pretty good. It has nearly 500K views, which is pretty insane. I'm going to leave it a like. I'll subscribe to this channel. Yeah, these guys are doing a lot of really cool stuff, building or dropping some really good videos. This is the other one I wanted to watch. I watched this one on my own, the Perplexity founder. Perplexity is such a crazy business. I don't know if you guys have used Perplexity AI, but it's low-key better than ChatGPT. Don't tell them I said that. Wait, what? I didn't know these guys had a site. Let me see. We unlock entrepreneurship and humanity. Whoa. Interesting. Media EO is a professional storytelling group focused on entrepreneurs and their journey towards excellence. Do they sell something, or is it just a media company? I think it's just a media company. Passion is overrated. Provide a market with a solution that sells first. I would agree. Because for me, at least, I'm just passionate about building. For real. I'm just passionate about building things. And that's a pretty broad scope, Billionaire at 23 is really crazy. I agree. So yeah. Oh, wow. Interesting. $20 billion data market aimed with AI. That's crazy. AI is building some crazy companies these days. Meanwhile, I'm still just looking at TikTok creators. I just think it's such a good opportunity. There's so much opportunity out there these days. It's pretty unbelievable. It's easier than ever to build something, and at the same time, harder than ever because there is so much opportunity out there. It's so easy to just get stuck doing nothing because there's so much that you could potentially do. What do I recommend? Well, what do you mean? What do I recommend with what? This was a good graph I made earlier for a video. You guys should check it out. Here, maybe we'll browse Trend Rocket a little bit. Trend Rocket is Davy's tool. I think it's pretty cool. Vivo Sun. This looks cool. Pretty good traffic. Exclusive member specials. Earned 5x points. Limited time redemptions. Man, memberships are kind of a untapped thing. These are cool products. So what? So these guys sell, I mean, they seem to sell all sorts of products. They're a marketplace. But they sell growing systems. So for growing plants. And I mean, you know, they got funny things here. So it's for growing all sorts of plants. This is a huge market, by the way. Just like indoor plants are huge. Let's look at Google Trends. If this will load. Wow, I got bad Wi-Fi. Bruh. Dude. Wow, Google Trends is broken. I found it, or I did it. Thoughts on YouTube automation? I think YouTube automation is super interesting. I would love to invest in channels. Like one of the things is I would love to have like a big science channel. I really like science, and I think there's a channel that's really inspiring for me. Kurz Kazogd in a nutshell. I love this channel. I think it's so good. Like it's so brilliantly done. And you know, I would love to have a team that can make videos like this. That would be so cool. So that's definitely something I would love to do in the future, is build a little team for something like that. But I think you definitely need some, you know, if you're going to do YouTube automation, I mean, it's probably not as automated as you'd think. You know, you have to it's just like any other business. You're going to have to spend a ton of time and potentially money up front in order to get it moving. And it will require a lot of dedication and consistency. It's not easy to build a YouTube channel. YouTube automation only works if you understand how to get views and run the platform. I worked with 50 plus students. Oh, that's awesome. I'm in the info product space. It has huge demand and steady growth. AI just making things easier to systemize. Facts. I love this channel though. But yeah, indoor plants consistently growing, of course. Kind of makes sense. What do you call these things? A growth box? Growth box. Wow. Yeah, these are popping. Very interesting. Look at this AI content. These guys are producing, literally they have AI pictures on their site. That's funny. So yeah, this is sort of how my process of like ideating comes about. You know, like I'll just browse the software, I'll like click around, I'll, you know, try to just look at interesting. I just kind of follow my natural curiosity. And then, you know, it leads me to opportunities. So hopefully that gives you some sort of insight into how my brain operates. Obviously, I don't have the time or resources to be making each one of these ideas a reality. So one of my goals with the Akemi Lab is to enable people to build these ideas and then eventually just invest in these ideas. I'm building a holding company and we're going to invest. We're going to go big on a lot of these ideas. Okay, so that's one brand. Let's look at another one. Superfoods, health and wellness, massive trend right now. Just completely popping off. And this brand is called Your Super. It's just a chocolate lover product. Wow, okay, they're really popping off. They have a lot of different products. They have a super green, a forever beautiful mix, antioxidant rich berry mix to support skin health, a moon balance mix, superfood latte powder to support happy hormones, detox bundle. This is smart, just all your products bundled into one. Recipes, this is really smart for a brand like this, educating people on how they can use them. Very smart. Wow, they have a lot of Instagram followers. They have more followers than they have traffic to their site. I'm sure they're probably doing a lot of retail too. Interesting. Spark Paws. Let's see these guys. Oh yeah, so these guys sell clothes for pets and owners, so you can match your pet. Man, that is so wild. This just continues to pop off more and more. That's crazy. The pet niche is so wild to me. And look at how simple this theme is, guys. For real. Like, this is literally the prestige theme. It's a free theme. Or sorry, that's not a free theme. I'm tripping. It's not a free theme. That was a lie. But it's a simple theme. And then they use looks reviews. Very simple. I think this is prestige theme. I'm not sure. Affiliates. This is what I was saying earlier, guys. Like, earlier I was talking about TikTok creators and how it's such a good opportunity for people. But here's the thing. You don't have to limit yourself to just TikTok offers, right? People think that you can only be an affiliate for TikTok, but that's cap. You can actually be an affiliate for anything. Most e-commerce brands out there have affiliate programs. And, you know, for example, with this one, you earn 10% base commission. Not bad. And, you know, this is a very trending product category. So if you have a pet, you could literally make so many videos around these kinds of products, make 30 videos in a month, and I guarantee you'll make some sales. Like, I guarantee you, if you sign up to this affiliate program and you have a dog that you could buy matching sets with, if you post a video with your affiliate link in the bio for 30 days on TikTok, and then you repost all those videos to Instagram as well, there's just no way you're not going to make money doing that. Like, there's absolutely no way, unless you're, I don't know, you have like the worst possible video quality of all time, and you have just the most terrible video making skills of all time. But the great thing about posting content is that, like, it's free, first of all. And the second thing is that you will learn from the data you're gathering, from the content you're making. You know, and here's the thing, guys. Akemi Lab does have an affiliate program. People don't know, but Akemi Lab has a recurring revenue affiliate program. So, you know, you earn 13% lifetime recurring commissions. So if you get somebody signing up for $400 a year, that's some good money that you'll make permanently as long as those people stay within the ecosystem. So definitely want to recruit more affiliates. I think that's easy money, to be honest. Just clip my content and lead people to the Discord. Okay, that was a good one. Do you have any plans in starting a YouTube automation business anytime soon? No, I don't have any plans for it. But I'm not completely opposed to the idea. I'm not gonna right now. I have enough on my plate that I need to focus on. But yeah, maybe towards the end of the year, I would totally invest in some sort of idea like that. I mean, I'm more willing to invest in a content team for my brand as opposed to a YouTube automation business. Like, I already have brands that, for example, I could hire editors to make videos for and post consistently on. And that's sort of the same thing as YouTube automation, but I have extra upside because I also own the brands that would promote. So I think it's a bad idea to only, or it's not a bad idea, but it doesn't have as much potential to have a channel that only makes money through AdSense, right? For example, my channel on YouTube makes like $2,000 a month in AdSense, but my businesses make roughly 6 figures a month. So that's how you want to approach YouTube automation, in my opinion, if you really want to make money. So that's what I would do. I would only do YouTube automation if I knew I could sell something that could make a lot of money. I would only do it if I had a business that was ingrained in it, that would make money through the views and not rely on the AdSense revenue. But hey, I'm not gonna lie, like once we start streaming more and more on this channel specifically, and we have more, better editors that are clipping the content. I'm a terrible editor, that's why I don't edit my videos. But once I have an editor that can clip content well from my streams and everything, and we post a ton of content and things just keep booming, I could see this channel doing at least 1 million views a month. And if this channel makes 1 million views a month, that'll be like 10 to 20K a month in AdSense revenue. So you can do well with just AdSense revenue. But my point is, you shouldn't really just rely on that. I'm dropshipping, so I need a processor that doesn't shut down dropshippers after 2 refunds. I don't know. There's a lot of processors out there that you can try, like Shopify Payments, PayPal, Stripe, Klarna, 2Checkout, or whatever. I mean, I've only really used Shopify, Stripe, and PayPal. I've never had any issues. So start there. Don't overthink it too much. And there's plenty more. There's so many payment processor companies out there, guys. Like, it's not going to be hard to find a processor if you really need one. But yeah, I gotta go. This was a great stream. This felt good. It felt like we're getting back into the groove of streaming. I would love to do this like 3 times a week. If I could do this 3 times a week and find somebody to just edit all this out into videos, that would be my ideal scenario. I don't want to edit videos. I don't want to script videos. I don't want to make thumbnails. I just want to stream. And, that's going to happen. So stay tuned, guys. I appreciate everybody who joined. Have you ever met Luke Belmar in person? No, I never have. I've only met him through videos. I live in Minnesota, which is pretty out of the way from a lot of the entrepreneurial events and things of that nature. And right now, I'm very busy, so I haven't been going to any events. I've just been locked in. But yeah, maybe later in the year, once things continue to grow, and once I have a bit more free time, I'll definitely be meeting Luke in person. I'd love to do that. Thank you guys for joining.